Well, hello.
Hello.
How are we today?
We are we are alive. I'm
Yes, we
alive.
are.
That's right, all of you crazy people. I'm back.
Yes, the Mando is here.
The Mando is here. It is bound to be a crazy episode when a Mando
Oh,
appears.
yes,
Wild
yes.
Mando. What's
And a
up,
sparkly
Shieldwall?
spark.
How are you doing?
Hey,
I'm talking
Shield
about
Wall.
especially talking
What's
about the
what's
Twilight Zone. I
happening?
feel like this is like perfect. I'm just like, okay. I always felt more at home at the Twilight Zone anyway, so
Hey, Shield Wall, you want to join us? We have plenty of room. Just let me know. I'll
plenty
send
of
you a
room
link.
at the table. Yeah, we're just talking about the Twilight Zone. You're
Yes.
traveling through another
Oh, I
dimension.
forgot. I forgot. I have to do another intro. I forgot. Okay. I'm gonna play this. This is the other intro.
There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man.
I like it.
There is a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast.
Oh my
There is
goodness.
a fifth dimension beyond that which is known to man. It is a dimension as vast as space and as timeless as infinity. It is the middle ground between light and shadow, between science and superstition, and it lies between the pit of man's fears and the summit of his knowledge. This is the dimension of imagination. Join Ironside and his guests as they take a walk in the Twilight Zone.
It's like a very good narration by Zax.
Well, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, he was kind enough to do that for me. It turned out pretty good.
It did. It's pretty spiffy. Pretty spiffy.
So we are going to be talking about Twilight Zone episodes 3 and 4, and I will pull that up real quick so we can kind of read the description on it.
Yes, Shieldwall, that was Zach's sexy voice. It was indeed. Your ears did not deceive you.
Yes.
Quite so.
I told him I thought he sounded like Rod Serling a little bit.
A
I don't know if
smidge. I
that's
can.
yeah. So yes, one of these is a western.
Yes, the old-fashioned westerns, the good westerns. Hello, zombie. Zombie box reviews.
Hey, zombie.
Yeah, like
So
I
the
miss good old TV, good old television. That's why I primarily watch TV Land when I do watch cable.
So the western is Mr. Denton on Doomsday.
I still sometimes don't
So
understand the title. I'm like, I understand it's about him, but I mean, technically it is his Doomsday in a sense. I don't know. I still just never got that title. That was one I was just like, me.
yeah, it's kind of his Doomsday. He hasn't
This is true.
uh, been a gunslinger in a long time, so he's not good at it anymore. And so this is the town drunk in the Old West faces his past when fate lends a hand. So that's the so of course it's directed by Alan Reisner, and
I
written
always
of
pronounced it
course
Reisner.
Reisner, yeah, and written of course by Rod Serling.
I like a lot of the episodes that were written by him. I think most of them were, um, but I think some of them were written by other people as well.
Hey there,
Um,
Dempsey.
Hello. But yeah, I just trying to think. Was there another writer? There was another writer at some point in time.
Yeah, there's several of them, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, it's pretty cool that Rod Serling was pretty much the writer of all of it.
Right. It was his brainchild. Part of me wonders, like, what kind of acid was he on when he created this series? Like, man, you had to be on some sort of freaking acid or something. Like, just sitting, just doing
Or he
some
was just
like
a really good writer,
that could be it, but some of
I
this
mean,
stuff I'm just like,
some of these are really good, thought-provoking episodes.
most of them have a lesson to teach as well. Another episode that I remember was well, they did discover acid 50. You are correct, Shield Wall. There was one where it was like a little girl and she took her parent. It was like a zoo for parents where kids could pick their parents. I forget what the episode's called, but
Pick their parent.
yeah, it's
Sounds
basically
familiar.
her parents were not great and she took them to a zoo, quote unquote. It was like a child zoo or something, and like it's where the parents kind of get stuck in this room and the children get to go through and be like, do you want to be my parents? And they'll be like, yes please, well, we were bad parents but we're gonna do better now. And then like at the end, she just gets a happy ending and her parents are like, what? Yeah, so most of these are very thought-provoking. Yeah.
So this one, he starts out, he throw him out of the bar, drunk dude. So
That he gets bullied by the town bully.
yeah, and the guy that plays him is I would never can remember his name. It is Martin Landau. There we go.
Yes.
Martin Landau. A young Martin Landau. It's like he gets pleasure from tormenting this guy.
Right? He is the proper bully.
I mean, pouring alcohol on him but yeah, typical bad guy in westerns, black hat.
I know. Old westerns. How can you tell who the bad guy is? He's the one wearing all black. Really?
And then occasionally you'll get a western where they flip it.
Right? That was the true subverting of expectations back then.
So this guy's just mean. He makes him sing for alcohol.
Breaks the bottle. But like, this is how you know the guy is definitely an alcoholic, because the dude breaks the bottle, throws it on the ground, and he like leaps for it like it's a breath of fresh air, and he's just like, "Ugh."
Right. And if you notice this guy, the peddler in the back, his last name is always covered up by something.
Mm-hmm.
There's only like very few scenes where it's not.
His name's Mr. Fate.
Henry J. Fate.
Dun dun dun.
And you can see it right there. It shows it right there, but
Mm-hmm.
then he gets in front of it. Yeah. So we're hearing him get bullied and made to sing for alcohol.
To think he was once a notorious gunslinger, feared by all.
So he smashes it and
that's where he's going for it.
So he throws it out in the street and he just goes and he gets it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he had something that saloon girl, and he just crumbles.
Yep. Yeah, Shield. Well, there are definitely people who are out there that are like that right now.
Yeah.
It's very sad. He's just like, what are you doing on the ground? The look, he's just
And
like,
this is the second out of the first 4 episodes, the second peddler. You know, and he's almost a kind of a what is it? Spiritual kind of like the first one. The forget what's the name of that one? But anyway,
he's like,
and then
this guy.
I love the narration here too with the gun, and we meet our main friend, or what is it? Not antagonist, but our
Protagonist?
main characters, and it's the gun.
Oh, right, yeah.
It just
I love how
just
the old
appears out of
animation.
nowhere. There it is.
This is like, to think how they used to have to film things like that, where they do a frame, they put the gun down, then they go back and they do another frame.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay, there we go. So then he wakes up and there's the gun in his hand. Yeah, but first he checks the bottle first. There's nothing left. He's like, how'd that get there?
Just holds it like it's like, what? Like, what is this? And then he's sad.
Those were... I saw that those 45 pistols back then were $25, which is back then was a month's pay. So not a cheap gun.
No,
not a cheap
it's
thing to drop.
definitely.
So
this is where he's talking.
Oh, I see you carry a gun now.
Isn't this where he like starts talking to her like, this is why I'm a drunk and why I don't do gunslinging anymore?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
She kind of does say so before that. Points at the bottle like you were a gunfighter before the bottle.
He looks very sad.
I don't know why, but this scene here kind of reminded me of Blazing Saddles.
It does. I didn't even think of it until you pointed it out, but it does.
And he's like, to his buddies, he's like, "Oh boys, oh boys,
oh boys."
Wait a minute." So good.
Yes. Just like how old westerns were, just like the bad guys were always the cocky ones, like, I'm gonna take you down, and then we all know like he's about to get like chopped down a couple sizes.
And typical bully, once you stand up to him, then
all of them come.
Yeah, he's like, "Here, you want to sing again for some alcohol?" And he does, and I'm sorry, but he does not have a very good singing voice.
Nope.
So he's like, "Oh, he's got a gun now." So he tries to goad him into a fight. Come on, you've got a gun now. I'll use my what was it? I'll use my left hand. It's like, oh yeah, look, I've got a left hand. Here, I want to show this. It's like, he's not even looking at him, and it just, see, this guy's controlling it. And he's like, oh,
I have been shot. What? In a gunfight? I have been shot? He's just like, very distraught.
it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. It's just like everybody like switches. It's like, oh, let's go buy him a drink. It's like, so then the guy comes in after him. It's like,
Having a PTSD flashback for a second.
yeah.
He's just like, what the heck is going on? Just shooting wildly.
And it's always in the presence of the peddler too.
Mm-hmm.
So he's doing something to control it. He's like, he's horrified. And this guy calls him Mister. It's the first time somebody's called him Mister in forever.
Just the light in his eyes come back like, oh, I'm a mister again.
This is the first, change. Bartender, here, I'll pour you a drink. And he's like, no, I don't drink. He's like, I think I'll go get a shave.
That's how you the old westerns, that's how you know that they're being serious, is when they get a shave. That's like, that was always one of the biggest tropes. It's just like, oh, they're just this rough and tumble, blah, blah, blah. And then when they get a shave, it's just like, I have returned. I'm like, but I liked you better with the beard. I always preferred like if they took care of it, of course. If it's scraggly and whatnot, yes, shave it. But I don't know. Those drink prices are pretty steep for back then. Yes.
That was normal that was the norm back then, I mean, not everybody had a clean shaven face all the time. I mean, they had straight razors, so I mean, you had to, I guess if you wanted to shave, you had to use it often. I guess maybe not. Maybe people did, keep their beards shaved because you're dealing with a knife there. You want to know how to use it properly.
But yeah, that was always the thing that got me in westerns. I'm like, what? Why do you need to be clean shaven to be a good shot? Why does that matter?
Because it makes you faster.
Oh my gosh. Was there like air resistance or something? Like, do you have to be aerodynamic with your face?
Yeah, beards were very common. Especially those buffalo hunters. This part too, he's like, they have a name for him. They're, what was it? It was here, I'll play it. Rummy, I guess because he liked to drink or something.
And don't forget, you don't have the audio shared with the rest of us. I don't know if that was intentional or not.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. I just wanted to make sure that it was intentional. Like, we can see
They're calling it, the nickname for him was Remy.
Remy. Okay.
It's like, no, stop calling me that.
Got some self-respect again.
So this is where he goes into why he's all the, gunfights he won. He killed people, and his last gunfight was a 16-year-old boy who called him out. And that was just the tipping point. That was the last straw.
I mean, like, that can be rough on anybody. Like, he shot a kid basically, and like that traumatized him for the rest of his life. Like, that's something that he can never take back, is he shot a kid and the kid did not make it. So I can see where that can be devastating.
I mean, and I know this episode is like has a redemption arc to it. but the actual gunfights were not as, two guys standing up in front of each other, unless it was like an old timey duel or something.
Right. They wouldn't just like stand there in front of each other and poof.
Yeah. So
We've got the tea house man in the chat. The tea house man has made an appearance. Hello, tea house man.
Good evening, Wakazashi. Hey, Gray.
Wakazashi. I think I've been saying that right, but I still always like have to stop myself because like I just don't say words correctly most of the time, and I just don't like messing up people's names. I'm like, I feel so bad. I'm sorry.
So then he does go get a shave.
Yep, he goes for a shave, and then
I love
he's all better again.
And the reflection, it even shows him in the reflection, and he's standing in front of his name.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Fate. He's just like, that good old boy's coming back. He's making a comeback.
Yeah, there's a bunch of what is it? I mean, broken mirror,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's just kind of the common thing in the Twilight Zone is if a mirror is if there is a mirror that is not broken, by the end of the episode it will be broken.
Yeah. But it's symbolism, he's fractured still.
Mm-hmm. Just a clean shave doesn't change anything. Oh, thank you. I pronounced it correctly. The pronunciation.
Wakazashi.
My redneck accent didn't get in the way today. Hi, yeah.
Well, that's good.
There are some days where I can't need a bath more than this. Right.
Yeah,
right.
But the getting a shave back then just completely, you're clean afterward. You get a shave.
You're just clean. You just don't need anything else. You're a new person. You're a new man. But I still do like the symbolism in like the old westerns or like older movies. Like if they clean themselves up, that was a representation of they are changing their ways. They are a new person, or they are going back to who they used to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I will not be this way anymore.
And it's like this is the same day, and he's already getting the people coming in for saying there's gonna be a gunfight tonight.
Right? Things didn't happen that fast back then.
They must have had a really fast telegraph,
I guess, or somebody rode off in some posse that's just like, hey, the guy that we know in the other town, 4 miles this way is back. He's a gunslinger again. He's slinging around them guns.
Yeah.
Also, how did they know where he lived? Who told them?
There must be a sign. This is where the Mr. Denton lives, right here.
There are questions that I have, like how did you know where he lived? How did you know where to find him? How did you know who he even was?
Well, I guess it is better than over explaining everything.
That's true.
But
I'm not sure they had telephones yet. Go ahead.
He must have had a neon sign outside that lit up, when he became a gunfighter again. Gunfighter lives here.
I mean, they could have had phones, but I don't know if they would have had phones in this.
I don't know what time period it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been. It could have been like one of the old rudimentary.
Rudimentally. Or did I say it wrong too?
Yes, you did.
Oh, rudimentally. Oh, fooey.
It spreads. I'm sorry. I don't mean to spread the disease where you
It's
can't
stream brain.
pronunciate anything. It is stream brain. The rotary phone and then a rudimentary phone. Ah, I said it. There we go.
Here we go. Rudimentary. Ha, there.
I swear
We
I don't try
eventually
and not
say things
pronunciate
right here.
things correctly. Phone was invented in 1978. Oh, okay. It's plausible. Yeah, they could have had a phone. It's just
I mean, my favorite Western, one of my favorite Westerns, The Shootist, is in that time period. So, and they have phones.
mm-hmm. Yeah, they could have had phones. Why would you just call like, hey, Gunslinger's back. Let's go get him. He lives there.
Let's challenge him.
But hey, I don't understand slinger man logic.
Yeah. So he's like, he'll be here tomorrow or this evening. Be at the saloon.
And then he's like, oh my God, no. Ah.
Come on. We don't need to do that. Come on. He's like,
the moment he's like,
fine.
I can be a gunslinger. And then somebody's like, be a gunslinger. And he's like, huh? I didn't agree to this.
So he goes out and tries to shoot and he can't hit anything, even when he aims at it.
That's what many years of alcoholism will do to you.
So he misses even.
And then the witch doctor
you got
man.
to. You got to. It's a good one.
Yes.
John Wayne's last movie.
Yes. Oh my gosh. What a way to go. What a way to go.
But since this is the Twilight Zone, they could all be robots or something.
For all we know. Could be. Space robots that have taken over the world.
Kirk might even show up, You never know.
Does he show up in one of these episodes?
He's in 2 or 3 of them, I think.
Okay. I was like, I feel like I remember him being there.
That's strange. Give me a second. Yeah, he's in 2 of them. He's in the one with the goblin on the wing or gremlin on the wing.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And there's one
technology giving you issues
where he's like in a diner, and there's this like little machine that you put coins in that tells you your fortune or something.
Yeah, I remember that one. It's been so long since I've seen these, but like the more we're talking about them, the more I'm like, oh yeah. So this is where he's shooting, and he's not shooting anything. He's just wasting the bullets.
Just wasting bullets. So he decides to run.
I'm gonna run away from my problems.
And then he sees the peddler outside looking at him. It's like,
hello, Mr. Peddler.
Good evening, Mr. Denton. This guy's got such an interesting face, the peddler.
Mm-hmm. He's got that face of, not stereotyping, but he looks like he's the devil.
Or, I know things, I know things.
He's a sly old fox. Very cunning.
I mean, he could even be a alien or something.
Could be, for all we know.
So
some people speculate it's a angel.
Yeah. So he's like, here, try this. It's a fast draws potion, but it only lasts for 10 seconds.
So you got to do it now. Yeah, he's definitely one to look like I'm a con artist.
Something. Yeah. So he gives him the bottle, and then he goes and waits. So this other gunfighter rides in. I don't know
With his
if
posse.
if you've seen the TV series The Virginian.
It's been I think I
Long
last saw it
time.
when I was like 9, so I don't remember, but I remember seeing it.
Yeah, this guy was in it.
Oh, okay, that's why it looked familiar. Because I was rewatching this, I was like, some of these people look so familiar, and I can't place them. I don't know.
Yeah. So he's like, let's do this. So this guy drinks his potion, and then, oh,
He drinks a potion
he's
too.
got the potion too.
Plot twist.
So they're like, uh-oh. Plot twist.
We're both gonna die.
So then they draw and they shoot each other in the hand.
That was always my question. Like, in the hand, really? That's where you both are aiming for? Like, one is a very experienced gunslinger.
It's good that they didn't kill each other. I mean,
Right, but like just
they can
thinking
both go on
logically.
and live on.
But logically
Yeah,
speaking,
I know.
they wouldn't have aimed for
I
each
kept
other's hands.
I kept thinking the bullets were going to hit each other.
They could do that. Right. This is the Twilight Zone. Anything
Yeah.
can happen. Do 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 do.
So everybody's like so gleeful about the gunfight. Like this was exciting. Yay!
I mean, it's
The
the most
doctor's
exciting news they probably
like,
had for years.
yeah. The doctor says, "Well, you'll never use that hand again." So they have matching hands now.
Mr. Fate's just like, my work here is done. And he rides off into the sunset.
That's the end of it right there.
Right, Shield Wall? Back in the day, ladies were very conservative. They didn't show their shoulders.
Yeah, unless they were a salute girl. Even salute girls probably were more covered than that.
Maybe. Possibly. I just find it funny, like nowadays our modern, like our modernities, posterity things, and I'm just like, you have no idea. It would be cold at night. Like she should be wearing like a shawl or something. Like I'd be cold.
Yeah, a few things about this episode. The gun gets him to drinking, and then the gun gets him out of drinking. But then these peddlers, they had those potions and everything, and they used alcohol in them. So he drank alcohol to get him. It's kind of funny. But also they always covered up his name, the peddler's name, Fate. I thought that was an interesting thing to do there.
Yeah,
Snake
that
oil.
was snake oil salesman.
Yes. So that's that one.
I always like these episodes always feel shorter than what, like, I feel like they should be like hours and hours long, but when you watch them, it's like, oh, that's not. These were very fast episodes, like, honestly.
Yeah. 30 minutes. Most of them. Except the last season. The last season, they went to an hour long.
Okay. Right, there's a new season out, like, recently, isn't there?
Well, it's not a continuation, but yeah.
Oh, it's not a continuation? I thought it was. Okay. No. Well, that's sad.
24
24
minutes.
minutes. It doesn't feel long when you watch them. I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
Probably because they're good. Good things make you feel like you're not sitting there forever watching them.
Yeah. Good shows actually have plot and good storytelling.
What? What is that? That's preposterous.
What do you mean, good storytelling?
Don't tell that to the Mandalorian writers.
Oh, no. So, okay, moving on. Next episode is the 16 millimeter shrine.
That's still a creepy one to me, to be honest. Like, it's just.
Yeah, it is. It is creepy.
And also,
I mean,
I think sometimes it hits a little too close to home, especially like considering the world that we live in today, where part of the reason we're in the mess we're in is because people are trying to deny reality. And that is exactly what this episode is about.
And are caught up in themselves, you know? Always thinking about number one.
Eerily similar. But yeah, go ahead. Explain the plot of this episode that kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies.
So this one is Barbara Jean Trenton is a faded film star who lives in the past and consistently rewatching her old movies instead of moving on with her life. So her associates try to lure her out of her self-imposed isolation.
And they fail.
Yes. She's crazy.
Utterly
In other words, she's crazy.
She is the definition of cuckoo. She has dissociative disorder or something. Like she is on the cuckoo train.
Yes.
Like I couldn't even imagine, like, because my understanding, like, and granted this is from like articles and things like that, most actors and actresses don't actually like watching themselves on screen most of the time, from my understanding.
A lot of them don't even watch the movies that they're in.
Right. Like even voice actors.
Robert Downey Jr. is one of them. He didn't like watching himself.
So like I just imagine, like, in the beginning she was probably a freaking narcissist.
Yeah, I mean that stuff develops. I mean, you're so constantly focused on yourself, you know, and what you look like, and
she wasn't a silent film actress as far as my understanding, because when I was watching the film, like, I heard voices in the movie she was watching.
Yeah. So these are like movies from the 30s, 40s, or 30s, 40s that she's watching. So this is like 20 years later.
Which she doesn't even look that old anyway. Like, in all actuality, she doesn't look old. Yes, Melvin, I agree with you completely.
Yes.
You can even make a series based on what the monkeys are writing. Like, make that a whole TV series. Like, each day the monkeys are able to write one episode of a show, and like, I don't know. You can figure something out. That is true. Like, well, back then, if you were over 30-year-old, yeah, like me, I am an old maid. Like, I am without a child. I am married, but I am 30, and so according to culture back then, I am an old, decrepit, sad, lonely little lady.
Oh, no, you're not. So the housekeeper goes in.
This poor housekeeper, she's got to be losing her dang mind.
Like, I need to go find another job. This woman's crazy.
Right? That would be I'd be like, I am getting the heck out of here.
I don't want to wind up in the Twilight Zone. This part that the maid freaks out here.
Yeah, like, that was the other thing. Like, people back then, they're freaking out, which is so dramatic and over the top.
I mean, if you look at her and look at the screen, it's not that much difference. I mean, at least make her look a little old. You know, put some makeup, to make her look old.
Like you can see some faint like smile like wrinkles like right around here and maybe a little
Yeah.
bit under her eyes, but like she still looks very young.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of the dimple thingy
Oh.
here.
This lady's high. I need to go see a psychiatrist. I'm going crazy too.
Yeah, I'm crazy too. Please help. We're all crazy here. She's crazy, which has made me crazy, and you are gonna go crazy eventually too.
So this guy, I think, is her like what do they call it?
Agent?
Manager, agent.
I think, yeah. Which I don't understand how he like.
I'm
I
worried
don't
about
understand
her.
the patience of this man. Like,
Yeah. Job, maybe patience of Job.
probably, I guess. I don't know, but like this man, like I can't imagine like working with someone who absolutely refuses to acknowledge the fact that they are getting older.
Yeah. And take parts that are for older people.
Right? She could have still been an actress, but she would have to be a
Yes,
mother instead
yes,
of the
he was.
daughter.
12 Angry Men. He was also in Psycho. Remember, he's the detective that gets killed. Remember? Falls
Mhm.
down the stairs. Oh,
But yeah, it's just like that's part of the premise. Like he's gonna walk in and be like, "Hey, I've got a role for you," and she's like, "Really?" It's like, "You're a mother." No.
how dare you!
Trying to tell me that
Very
I'm getting older. 30-some
crazy.
year old lady, you're not a daughter anymore. You're a mother. Calm down.
So he goes in the room and she's like, I'm watching old movies. Look, it's daylight outside. You crazy lady.
Go outside and touch some grass, man.
She's like, oh.
Basically, like, oh my god, the sunlight.
Melting.
No.
But she's very caught up in herself. I mean, oh, imagine somebody looking at pictures of themselves
Like, dude,
all
like, yeah,
day.
you can reminisce a little bit, but spending your entire existence cooped up in a dark room watching videos of yourself.
Yes. It's like, I have a role for you. Oh, let's go.
Then she finds out what the role.
Yeah. Look at this.
No.
Look how thick that door is. I was watching this and I
Right?
was like, whoa, that's almost a 2x4.
Like, she's got to have some arms of steel to just open that door. Yes, Shield Wall. This is Twitter in the 50s.
Yes, Twitter in the 50s.
Technically, that would be the newspaper.
Yes.
The newspaper. People are like, oh, Twitter's this new thing, blah, blah, blah. Human nature has not changed. We went from newspaper and standing on cardboard boxes and shouting our thoughts to being on the interwebs and shouting our thoughts.
Well, at least newspapers weren't addictive. I mean,
everyone had to have their morning newspaper while they were drinking their coffee.
Yeah. He keeps telling her that this is crazy. This is crazy behavior. She's like, how dare you?
Sorry, bug on my ceiling.
Had to get it. Okay. Did you get it?
No, I missed. It's fine. It'll just bother me. But I'm not crazy. Like, she literally has pictures of herself. Like,
yeah,
I can't.
All over the place. It's like, goodness, lady. This is not healthy. You're crazy. Come on.
Get yourself together, woman.
So then they go to the guy giving her a job. Like, remember that job? It's a job. You get paid.
How does she afford the mansion she's in? That was always my question. Is like, you are a washed up actress. How are you affording this?
Yeah. And she's acting like she's 20 or something. And she finds out what the job is. It's like, you want me to play a mother? I don't play mothers.
And they're just like, the heck you do? You want a job? This is what you're going to get.
So she just flat out insults this guy. And he lets her have it. It's good.
Gives her a little bit of a reality check. She's like, how dare you make me get this role? I am not an old maid. Yes, you are, dear. You are an old maid now.
Yes. So you'll have to do some narration here because
they're basically saying, she's crazy. I know she's crazy, but she's a great actress. She's crazy. I'm not going to take her. Please take her. I know she's crazy. No, but please. More or less, the all of that conversation there between the two guys is, she's crazy. I know she's crazy, but she needs a part. She doesn't need a part that bad.
yeah,
Yes,
she's on her way to the Twilight Zone. So she kind of lets him have it and like, how dare you take me to something like that? Chewing him out, and it's like, you need help.
You need to go outside and touch some grass.
Grass, walk in the grass.
Right? Like, just
get some sun.
Imagine what they could have done is they could have just completely locked her out of this freaking room and made her go outside and just be outside. That could have done wonders for her, I think.
Yeah.
Realizing it's not so bad getting older. It sucks. Your back hurts, but it's not that bad.
It's the story of Narcissus.
Mm-hmm.
The longer you look into your reflection, you turn into what did he turn into? A mirror or something?
So he was staring at his reflection in a pool of water, and he went to go try and kiss himself in the water, and he drowned.
Oh, that's what happens. It's pretty much what happens in this episode.
More or less, yeah. Very.
She just goes back to watching herself and.
Sorry if I'm looking. The bug has now disappeared, and I'm like worried.
Go ahead. He keeps trying to get her to come out, and it's like, no, she doesn't want to come out.
She wants to be locked up in her little prison of herself.
And then she like somehow winds up in the movie.
So what she does is she wishes with all of her heart. I was about to go into Dragon Tales. Ooh, most of you probably don't know what that is.
And even they get the old movie star that she was with in that movie to come try.
Oh, she has a freaking reality check when she realizes who that is. She's just like, you got old. What happened to you? He's like, well, I'm no longer an actor. I actually own a chain of grocery stores, right? It was grocery stores or something, convenience stores.
Yeah.
Like, I own a chain of convenience stores. She's like,
no.
He's like, it's okay to grow old. It's fine.
She needs a safe space.
Yeah. She finds the safe space, and the safe space becomes part of her being.
So then she goes back to watching movies again.
Yeah, talk about
It's like,
throwing
there's the
yourself in
guy
your
she was
work.
just talking to.
What's up, soldier? How are you, good sir? Yes, I am quite untamable. But I'm at least not crazy. This lady is like psycho. Like she's literally
Someday.
going up to the screen like, please let me just go in there and be what I used to be.
Yeah. Hey,
And then she
Salty.
gets sucked in.
So yeah, she's like quoting the movie lines. It's like,
I still wonder how that happened. I love the waitress or not the maid's reaction when she realizes what's happened. She just drops it. Typical old movie over the top reaction. Break all of the things, just scream.
Ah,
Then pass
run
out.
away.
Because she's like, I brought you a snack and coffee. You like coffee and a snack? And then she's like, wait. She's inside the screen.
She's in the screen. Oh.
And she's like, she's inside the screen. Oh my God.
Oh.
That's the look of horror. Because it's not normal. It's strange.
Or it's like she's acting like she's seen a werewolf coming at her. Or
but
Bigfoot.
Here's the thing I never understood. If I'm scared, bro, I'm throwing knucks. I'm running out of there. I'm not just standing there going, ah! No, I am hightailing it the heck out of there.
Yeah.
I don't wait. I don't stop. I just sit there and just scream like, oh my God.
Run away.
That's like horror movie 101 is if you feel afraid, run away. Do not go towards it. Do not stand still. Run away. She's like to the manager, I don't know what's going on. I'm crazy.
She's like, where is she? And she turns the lights off and it's like, oh my.
I love how he tries to go after her. Come back. Don't leave. Like she makes this like grand entrance on the staircase, like, let's go out for a party. And he's just like, yeah.
Like, come back. And she hears him too. She's like, what is that noise? And she walks away.
She drops her handkerchief and then walks away.
He's like, I need a drink.
Like, what the heck did I just see? And that's where he picks up the handkerchief. He's just like, is this real? What's going on? But this is the Twilight Zone.
Like, yes. And there you go. There's the second episode.
If you get copyrighted for me doing that, I'm sorry. YouTube's been a bee.
Now, there's what she should have looked like in the picture.
Yes.
In the movies. But and he's like happy for her. Like, really? You're happy for her?
Like, she's literally lost in a different dimension where she's constantly going to relive all of her movies.
Hey, Nas. What's up?
What's up, Nas? Yeah, she looked good for her age. Like, I don't understand, like...
Yeah.
Like, she could, like, granted, I'm not an actress. I don't know actresses. At least, well, I do know a couple. But they're, like, super low time. But, like, you take what you can get. It's work. You do the job. The job requires you. Yes, there's a point in time where you are 30 years old. You can no longer play teenagers. You find other roles. There are other roles that you can play, that you can still be an actor or an actress.
Yes, yeah. And the actresses today and actors are like, they're not classically trained anymore.
They're so bad.
They're just there for their looks.
It's like, oh, I look pretty. Oh, I need to say these lines. Well, I'll try and say these lines,
I
but I
have
still
an
just have
earpiece.
to. I have the earpiece. Yes, I know my lines because they're being fed into my brain.
Yeah.
Like old school actors and actresses, man, like were they messed up too? Heck yeah, but they understood it was a job, and it was a job. Unless you're a cast at the 21 Jump Street, yeah, basically.
I mean, there are good actors and actresses out there, just not like they used to be. Not at the same caliber as
And it's
40s, 50s.
understandable. I understand, like, forming the actors union and how some actors and actresses were treated back in the day was not okay. That I don't condone, actors and actresses being forced to starve themselves, forced to not sleep for days on end because of a
Yeah.
shoot, or
Right.
like being treated badly or being exploited for XYZ thing. But there's a line where, like, you should take your job, it is a job, seriously, and you should let that be shown on screen. Like, your skill should be shown on screen. Learning to act on stage very different than camera. Yeah, and that's
Yep.
true. But there have been times where it has translated over, like someone who was on Broadway switched to, the big screen and vice versa. It's happened. It's not super common, but it is a thing.
Yeah.
But I think that actors and actresses today could probably use some acting classes, training.
Yeah.
And they should be able to afford it.
Yeah. Yeah, they get paid plenty to. I mean,
Play
and two,
pretend.
the actors of this time period, they were, I mean, movie after movie, and TV show. I mean, they were putting out a bunch of movies in a year, and now it's just like a movie a year.
Right. Yeah. Like, if you were a star, you were everywhere. You were on cereal box covers, you were in commercials, you were in all the movies that you could get your freaking hands on. Like, you were everywhere. Nowadays it's like, we have, one or two big stars that do one or two, three, different movies and things like that. And it's just, I don't know. I
I
feel
mean,
like
they
actors
saw it
don't really take their job seriously anymore.
in the 50s and 40s. They saw their acting as a job. That was their job.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's just not. It's not the same anymore. I don't know.
It's not. It's not taken as seriously anymore. It's something that I feel like a lot of them view as flippant, just very, oh, I can say some lines and I can, look pretty for a camera. Whereas, people, like, I think somebody mentioned in the chat, Julie Garden, or I can't say names. Judy Garland, yes,
Yeah.
like, or John Wayne, or like top tier, like those level of actors and
I
actresses,
mean,
like, they became a household name.
even what's his name, Christopher Lee. Uh, the guy that plays Gandalf, or Ian McKellen.
Ian McKellen. Like, they just don't make them like they used to.
No.
When I think that's a lot of things nowadays. Thank you, Nas. I appreciate it. I just feel like the last really great, I used to call it, yep. I think more actors and actresses and even musicians, I think, they could do with a little bit more classical training. Because, like, as much as a lot of people hate Lady Gaga was classically trained. She has a good voice and she knows what to do with it.
Yeah.
And then she just switched to.
I mean, I think people should find their local theater, not movie theater, but go to plays.
Yeah, I've been to some. I got the privilege of going to see Lion King on Broadway, and it was beautiful. Like I will forever, have that memory of going to Broadway and seeing like an actual Broadway play, and it was spectacular. It was a once in a
Yeah,
lifetime opportunity I got.
yeah. Actually, one of my nephews is going to be in a play, a musical
Hey,
play.
that's cool.
But yeah, what are you laughing at?
I was laughing at Nas.
Don't summon AJ. What?
Don't summon, don't summon them.
I can
Yeah.
send him a note on Twitter. Hey, you want to come on? Come on.
But yeah, I do miss the caliber of shows and movies that we used to get. I think too many people nowadays care too much about how like a movie looks, like the CGI or like the background, like does it look super pretty? And like yes, while that is important, I think it's not the most important thing. I think if the actors and actresses are doing their job well and the script is well written and the plot is well done, like that can beat out on bad graphics, in my opinion.
Yeah, and two, that I mean, you can use those sparingly in a movie, and it doesn't have to be all fast paced and flashy explosions going
Explosions.
off and
Michael
everything.
Bay would not be happy with you because Michael Bay
No,
does explosions and that's all he does. He would not be
yes,
pleased.
with sparklers, explosions with sparklers. Yeah,
It's very pretty.
the last Michael Bay movie I went to was Transformers 2. I got sick because there was so much motion and ugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
you don't
a
want to
joke some of
get sick
Go
when you
ahead.
go to the theater. You don't want to get
Yeah.
sick when you go to the theater.
Yeah. There's a joke that me and some of my Twitch streamers have whenever we're playing a game and we're like, explosion, Michael Bay would be proud.
Yes, or a what is it? A lens flare. Ah, oh,
Like what? Yes, that stuff is important. Camera angle and like the aesthetic of something, that is important, but I don't think that is the most important.
no, The Hound of the Baskervilles. Yes, that's a great one. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Good stuff. They did a lot of movies together. The Dracula movies, or
And I
yeah,
miss.
Christopher Lee. Oh, Christopher Lee is a vampire. It's
Mm-hmm.
Count Dracula.
Count Dracula.
Yeah, and Peter
Like
Cushing. And he was a good actor too.
Angela Lansbury was also a really good one.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah. It's a shame that a 24-minute episode of the Twilight Zone is better than most things we get today.
Right. I could watch the Twilight Zone and just veg out and forget all about reality versus like already beaten the dead horse, but we're going to beat it some more and we're going to kick it. Rings of
Yeah,
Power. I
kick
could
it down
watch
the road.
Twilight Zone for forever and ever and always and never get tired of it versus watching Rings of Power and clawing my eyeballs out.
Yeah, yeah. Me too. Yeah,
Because like
and there's
it made you think.
yeah, it actually gave you real uh, things to think about.
Morals and values and
Morals, values. Yeah,
um people talk about, like a lot of people want to subvert your expectations. That is the show. That is the like if subvert your expectations was in the definition, the Twilight Zone would be like there would be a picture of the Twilight Zone in there. Like it's
yeah, yeah.
like you don't like so a lot of times when you're first watching like one of the episodes, you're like, oh, this is how it's gonna go. Nope, that is not how it ends up going. There's like some sort of weird, strange thing.
And in a lot of them, there's a like in the beginning of this last episode, she like steps out from behind the screen. It's like foreshadowing.
Oh
There's a
yeah.
lot of that. A
Mm-hmm.
lot of
Fine. I'm used to crazy humor. All of the humor. I mean, there is some weird stuff in there too. I'm not gonna lie. There's some weird stuff.
There's, but yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Wasn't there one with the men? I know it's a book. I think also the men with no faces.
To serve man.
I think because it wasn't. I feel like there was an episode where there was like people with no faces or something. It was odd. I don't remember.
There were ones where people had pig faces.
Yes. Okay, that's the one. I was just that's some weird stuff. I feel like there were some times when like Twilight Zone and Doctor Who, like old school Doctor Who, like copied from each other's notes. They're like, oh, that's a good idea. I'm going to copy that too.
Well, too, that one, and I'll definitely talk about it when I get to it, but that one, it's like everybody has to look this way. And if you don't look this way, you're weird and you need to be sent off to where there's people like you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny that they in that world, in that episode, they're like, this is what beauty is, and it's like this twisted, ugly
yes.
where
Like
it gets you, the twisted looks all the time. When beauty today and what's underneath the skin, underneath the surface. That's pretty much what that was talking about. Underneath the surface.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what your skin looks like. It matters what's on the inside. Yeah, like so often that like people are like, oh, modern day morals and civility, is the thing. No, like we've been talking about like treating people with respect for a very long time. That's been like sliding into our entertainment, like even Twilight Zone, like it doesn't matter what you look like even in one of the episodes, if I remember correctly, it was like somebody who looks beautiful, like drop dead gorgeous or handsome, and then it's like, oh, actually you're ugly.
Well, the picture of Dorian Gray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the end of that is always funny to me because he's like, yeah. He destroys the picture and then he starts to look like the picture.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that was freaky. I remember because I was younger when I saw that, and I was just like, I didn't want to look at pictures for a while. I'm like, oh, it's gonna happen to me. Or the other episode I was talking about, with the kid with really bad parents, and she's given this pass to go to this child zoo where it's actually like the name of the place is a little misleading.
Is that the place where they like swim in the pool and it takes them somewhere else?
No, I don't think.
That doesn't sound familiar. Let me look it up. Of course, there's ones I haven't seen. So,
because it was I thought it was probably one of the first seasons. It's gonna bother me.
Yeah, but there's another one too where the kids have bad parents, and the parents are getting a divorce, but then they go swimming in the pool, and they like swim down and then like come out somewhere else.
Yeah, no, that's not what this is. Is it in the first season? I thought it was. Continue to talk while I look this up because it's gonna bother me.
Yeah, they used to play, or I don't know if they still do this, but they used to play Twilight Zone on New Year's.
Yes, I remember that.
Just have a marathon of them all day. And they would always play mostly the first two seasons. So I'm mostly familiar with those 2 seasons.
Maybe this isn't first couple of seasons.
Yeah, there's another one, To Serve Man. And these aliens come to Earth to and they have a book that says to serve man, and they're like helping them grow crops better and cure illnesses. And there's a reporter going on one of their ships to see their planet, and a friend of his comes running up and says, "The cookbook, we've translated it. The book, we've translated it. It's a cookbook to serve man."
Oh, okay. So remember when Twilight Zone used to have technically like 2 episodes in one episode? This was it was the 3rd episode, second half of it. Yeah, 3rd episode B.
What
Basically, it's the children's zoo.
what season?
Season 1. It's called Children's Zoo, which makes you think. We don't have to. I was just letting you know, like, that's the one that I was talking about because it was bothering me. I'm like, I remember.
Is that
watching
a newer version of Twilight Zone?
Mm-mm.
No,
I don't think so. It said
sure?
season 1, episode 3B was originally aired in 1985. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's a newer one.
Dang it.
That's okay though.
I mean, it says season 1, so must have been a reboot.
Yeah, reboot Twilight Zone. Nice.
I'm sorry. I mean, my Mormon friends would probably say no, but they are kind of strange. Just kidding.
Well, I've run out of things to talk about.
We can talk about the gender
Oh
thing.
no. I might start a weekend show for that kind of stuff.
Apparently, if y'all are curious, there's a new gender. Yay! Because why not? Why not let there be
able to spot people that have it too? Not really. No.
It's basically
Crazy people.
Yeah, it was the 5 personality disorder, schizophrenia. Yeah, basically schizophrenia, but it's not.
Yes, let's not treat schizophrenia. Let's encourage it.
All 5 of your personalities have their own gender identities, and we're going to affirm all of them.
You better wear a color-coordinated bracelet so we know which is which.
Like, okay, you've got the green bracelet on, so you're this person. Fabulous. Okay, I know your pronouns now. The comedy segment of the show is brought to you by gender. But yeah, like I enjoyed watching the Twilight Zone episodes. I was just like, this is good stuff. This is what good television used to be.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff.
It used to be like people had a lot of different options for good things. Like back in the day, it was like, there's like 5 of these really good things. There's like 1 or 2 things that are like, meh, nobody really cares about. Now it's just like 5 or 6 things that are like, meh. And then there's like these 2 things that are like, oh, those are good.
Yeah.
I miss the 80s and 90s, even though I was born.
They're old movies. There are so many that are good.
If people could get past, go ahead.
I looked up the top 10 movies of 1959 with the on the North by Northwest stream, and it's amazing how many movies came out that year that are 4-star movies, 4 or 5-star movies. It's insane.
Yeah, if people could get past like the older graphics or the older cinematography, stuff like that, like there's so many good things out there. things that don't need to
Yeah.
be redone or made into a live action. Like me and a friend of mine, my friend Wicked Virtue, with our show on Sundays, we were actually talking about them doing another live action of the Aristocats.
What's that?
So basically, it's a movie that was like maybe late 80s, early 90s, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Where these cats are supposed to inherit a fortune, and when the woman of the house passes away, but the butler kidnaps them and throws them off a bridge, but they survive. And then this sly, slick alley cat helps them get back to their home, and the butler is apprehended at the end, and the cats live happily ever after.
Oh, okay. So it's like
Kind of
a animation movie.
yes, it's
Okay.
an animated movie that they're going to make into live action, like The Lion King. Yes, Aristocats. Yep, they're gonna do a live action.
Oh,
They're gonna do another
why?
remake.
No, don't do it.
There's a Lilo and Stitch remake in the works.
Yeah,
Yep.
there's a Vertigo. Vertigo is getting a remake.
I'm so sick and tired of remakes. I
Yeah, me
want new
too.
things.
I'm tired of people saying, "Oh, I saw this movie. It was so great." Oh, yeah, that's a remake. Yeah, and they didn't even know it was a remake.
And the original was probably better.
Yes.
I mean, I kind of liked the quote unquote live action of the Jungle Book. I think that was done okay, but that's the only one.
Yeah.
Beauty and the Beast was okay.
310 to Yuma. There was an old one, and they
1970.
made a
Oh,
new.
okay.
And that
1970.
when that?
The Aristocats was
Oh,
released in
okay, 1970.
1970.
Okay.
It's older Disney stuff.
Yeah, there was the 310 to Yuma. That wasn't a bad remake, but it was basically the same storyline. Same, just a copy of the original.
And that's a lot of friends of mine are like, well, we like to update it, make it, more accessible to the modern audience, but it's like, it doesn't need it. It really doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
Like,
No.
just go watch the original. It's just as good. If not, it's going to be better, most likely. Most things, granted, there are some things that when they are redone, I think it's done well, but those are few and far between, in my opinion. Like 85 to 80% of the time, the original is far superior.
Yeah, I agree. And if it
Like,
was, made after a book, the book is better than the movie most of the time.
Yep.
But I don't read. I only listen to audiobooks.
I mean, like, audiobooks are okay.
Yeah.
I both read and listen to audiobooks. So I'm just like, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I'm having to work and I have like an audiobook while I'm working. So
Yeah. I like say, fly. Sorry.
both of us are having bug problems, I see.
Yes. Nasty critters. So yeah, what was I saying? Audiobooks. Yeah. I found a really good audiobook of Lord of the Rings. It's not for sale, but it's free because it's, somebody just read it themselves and put it out there.
Ah, that's
And
nice. That's nice.
it's got music from the movies kind of
That's
mixed
cool.
in with it, and sounds and everything. It's cool. They did a really good job of putting it together.
Yeah, Shield Wall, that's definitely a thing. When I used to do a lot more traveling, audiobooks and podcasts were my friends. I read so many books through audiobooks when I was traveling.
Yeah, I want to get the audiobook of The Hobbit read by what's his name? Brain freeze.
I'm sure it'll come to me at midnight tonight. I'll wake up
the
with
guy that played Gollum. The guy that played Gollum. Probably just search Gollum actor. Circus.
Andy Serkis, yes.
Yes. I've heard clips of it and it sounds really good. I'm gonna have to
It
get
is
that
good.
one.
Yeah, I am currently on hold for 1984. I have the book, but I haven't been able to like sit down and read it because I'm like reading 3 different things right now, and so I'm like, okay, just audiobook it when I'm at work. I've got a library app where I can just download free audiobooks sometimes. Like it's like the library where you check them out and stuff. So yeah, I'm rereading the book 1984, and it's a little bone chilling when you think about how accurate it is.
I've got that bookmark to listen to. So.
Do it. It's a little creepy and it's a little freaky, but do it.
Yeah. Kind of seeing the mirroring of that in our culture. Kind of creepy.
Yep.
And how fast something like that can happen.
Right. People are like, oh, that'll never happen in my lifetime. It only takes one generation. It just takes one generation to do to do the wrong thing.
I mean, look at World War II, Hitler, and all that.
That was one generation. Like the people who fought in World War I were still alive during World War II.
And his rise to power was even shorter than a generation, you know?
Mm-hmm. Like people who don't pay attention, it's like, oh, it happened so fast because you weren't paying attention, dum-dum.
Yeah.
I miss those suckers, the dum-dum suckers. They were wonderful. They're still around. I just haven't had one in a very long time. Gum for my dum-dum.
Yeah, I've got to do some kind of a different change of pace from my regular videos. Do like a weekend video and do like Alfred. I've got one idea coming up that's Alfred Hitchcock, just talking about Alfred Hitchcock.
Do it.
So that'll be fun. Well, I'm going to go ahead and let's wrap up here.
Okie dokes.
So do you have anything coming up that you'd like to tell people?
So I was going to try and stream on Twitch this week, but with it being Easter week and I'm involved in my church because I'm in the band and stuff. I'm not going to do much on Twitch, but on Saturday I'm still doing Literary Souls at 10:30, and I'm going to have my friend Smile a While on, and we're going to finish up the space trilogy of C.S. Lewis's because I'm almost done with it. It's finally getting to the good part. And then Sunday, on my channel again, we will be doing my Sunday show with my friend Wicked Virtue and I. It's called Unplugged with Wicked Virtue, and so those are kind of the 2 big things that are coming up. And then always I'm on Twitch primarily. I do lots of streaming of games, and I'm just like to have fun and play games and talk about books and talk about stuff and things.
Cool. Now that Wicked Virtue, when you kind of take turns on your channel and then on her channel, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, last week it was on her channel, and this week it's going to be on my channel.
Cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
It. You can follow me on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram. I'm on Kick now. Kick is like a new Twitch thing. I don't know if I'm going to ever actually stream on it, but
oh man,
the thing.
There's too many of them. They make you confused.
Yup. My Rumble account's all messed up, so
and
I'm definitely not going to be streaming on there anytime.
After age 35, your mental powers start going.
Dang it, I've got 5 years left.
Yep, I'm 36. I'm on the downslide. It's
only downhill from here, man.
Game over, man. Game over.
We're old. We're old people.
And next week is I'll be talking about the Hunt for Red October.
Ooh.
Got Roman and Blair. Gonna talk to some Navy guys about that movie. It'll be fun.
Heck yeah, that'll be good. But I with having people in the military in my family, I can't talk about the Navy without my Marine Corps uncle in my head saying, "Hoorah, Marine Corps better." Marine Corps better. And then my other uncle who was in Army was like, "No, the Army's better. Nobody cares about the Navy."
Only sailors are called Lawrence. Sorry. No. Hey, my grandpa was Army. 101st Airborne. Hoo-ah. Hey, there's another one. Hoo-ah.
Hoo-ah.
Yeah, and if you watch Band of Brothers, that's basically the same events that he was in. He was in all that.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah. He in the Battle of the Bulge, he took out a Panzer with a rocket.
Hey, yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
He was a radio man for the artillery battalion. So, and in Battle of the Bulge, they lost. Their supply lines were cut, so everybody just became a rifleman, to fight. So, pretty cool.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all I got going on.
Yeah, me too. That's it. Well,
it was fun.
Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. Kind of a more low-key episode, but a good one. And I hope everybody has a good week. And I don't have an outro, so we're just gonna wave, or Mando can wave. I'm waving. You just can't see.
I'll wave for the both of us.
Bye, y'all. Have a good week, everybody.